Hello and good morning. It is Monday and beautiful morning. It is so cool. It's nice and breezy. It's not humid. This is the kind of weather I like to do chores in. It's not too cold and freezing, and it's not hot and humid. It's beautiful. I did the chickens. I did the cat. I did the sheep. I did the sheep. I did the rabbits. I'm just gonna go do the ducks. I'm trying to do this quick because I have to go to the grocery store this morning and pick up groceries. The baby is still in his car seat. I left him. I don't know if you can see him. See him? I left the baby in his car seat because he's been really struggling going in and out of his car seat. And so the idea of kind of getting him out of the car seat, putting him in the hanger, then taking him out of that and putting him back in the car seat, I knew he was going to have a hard time with that. So I decided to just kind of leave him in there. I gave him something to play with. And he seems pretty happy. Like I said, the weather's really, really nice. So it's a beautiful morning to have him outside. I can go a lot faster if I'm not carrying him. And so the dog and the ducks, I think, are the last things I gotta do before we can go back in the car. I do need to do some of the sheep training, but I'll have to do that on a day where I don't go out. I'm planning to go out to the gym at least once this week. Oh, hey Thistle, I was wondering where you were. You're just waiting for me? Yeah, I see you. Any ducklings yet? No ducklings? No, she's kicked out all but one of her eggs. That's a bummer. Usually we notice when they kick out their eggs is when they start to smell and go bad. So that's a bummer. Oh, and they need water. I'll have to do water. We also have at least 3 of them off their nest. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So she has 9. She had 9 before, but this one over here had 3. She had more than that, but then I've slowly been watching her get rid of them. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope something hatches. I'm gonna get you food in a minute. I'm sorry, you were late because I'm doing you last because you didn't come say hi, so I wasn't sure where you were or if you were hungry. Oh, and the other mama's coming. Oh. Are you gonna step in? I didn't spread the food out enough, I think. Like I said, I'm trying to be fast, so I just dumped it. They did not like that. If for some reason none of these eggs hatch, that is the second time in a season that they have not actually had any babies. The first one I understand why. The second I don't know, unless it's because it's later in the season and it's not spring. But it's frustrating. They're Muscovies, but if anyone out there has ducks and understands maybe why the eggs aren't hatching, let me know. Because I am very, very confused. The moms are doing a great job, as far as I can tell. And there's 4 of them. You'd think out of 4 nests, we get something. But one of the nests doesn't seem viable. Maybe we'll get 1. And then the other one, it's either not viable, and she hasn't figured it out yet, or they just haven't hatched. But I don't know. Nature's confusing sometimes. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was amazing. I just did some training. I didn't record it because it wasn't supposed to be very long, but I realized I put way too much food in the cup, so I ended up doing way more training than I thought. She put the harness on, amazing. It was great. I didn't even have to, I think there was one little brush of her nose, and then it went on completely. I even practiced kind of leading her. She doesn't love it. She'll kind of tug, but we're getting used to her getting used to that kind of pull in her face. and like walking with me. But the thing that I was most impressed and excited about is I started to, as she was eating from the little cup I had, I started to grab her spine and her back, which she before freaked out and wanted to run away. Anytime I touched her back, she really freaked out. She let me squeeze it, rub it. I went even as far as kind of rubbing her stomach and her legs, because I tend to kind of pop their legs up and hoof trim. If my husband's not around, it's the only way I can do it by myself. And then I also put my hand in between her back legs and sort of rubbed what would be the udder. And she didn't move. She stayed right where she was supposed to. She didn't even freak out. She didn't even try to kick me. I was like, girl, are we friends? Like, are we buddies now? Yeah? Are we good friends? I hope so. And he even got kind of close, which I wasn't super excited about, but he also respects my crook. Anytime I'd grab my shepherd's crook or go near it, he kind of backed off, which is great. I want them to learn. I want him to be not too skittish when I'm around him in case we need to grab him and give him shots, but I also want to make sure that if I have something in my hand, he respects it and backs off. So far it was amazing. It was so good this morning. Huh? Yeah, good girl. I wanted to show you guys the little pockets that our dog has made for herself. Her little nests, her little dust nests. Yes, I see you, and you're jumping all over me. There's 1, 2, 3. Right behind the tree. 4. I know where she lays. 1, because I see her, but 2, because there's just a pile of dirt that she's been digging and making little nests in. Yeah, I see you. That's been one of her favorites, is behind that tree. And over here. I think it depends on the day, like the time of the day. In the morning, she's behind the tree. In the afternoon, she's over here. Sometimes she's over here anyway. Depends on the weather and temperatures and all that. Huh. You make your little nests like the birdies? I was closing the gate and I found a little friend. Can you see it? Oh, there it is. They just connected it to the gate, and as I was closing it, I pulled a little bit of it off. But I'm gonna leave him be. I can't remember what kind of spider this is. Editing, Delaney can pop it in here, but they're actually not dangerous. They look scary, but they're actually beneficial. And we haven't seen them a lot this year. We had a bunch the last year, the year before, and we haven't seen very many this year, so I'm going to leave this one be. I want to say, generally, my rule of thumb for nature and pests and little critters out here is as long as you're not causing harm, you're not causing damage, and you're not taking food out of the mouths of my children, you are allowed to be here. I don't mind you coexisting with us as long as you are not interrupting our food chain or causing damage to either our bodies or the farm itself. Well, guess what? I came out to my garden today and noticed that something had decimated the leaves of my tomato plants. And I don't know where it started, but I can see it here. And then it started to kind of come over here and come here. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is. I have a feeling I can guess. I thought maybe it was one of these little guys. These little stink bugs. But I kind of knew more so what the culprit is probably. And I kept looking for it, and I couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, I found You. And there might be more of you in here, but this is a hornworm. And it has eaten all of... There might be more, but unfortunately, as you can see, they're green, so they camouflage really well. So there might be more in there. I'm going to take a quick look around. But in general, when something like this happens on the farm and you take food away from my family, I decide it's time to give back a little bit. So I'm going to feed you to one of our animals that does feed us. So I'm glad you ate all of my tomato leaves. It got you nice and plump and nice and nutritious for one of my chickens to enjoy. Let's see who is around. And if I don't see anybody, I'll just call somebody. Here, chickies. Anybody hungry? Oh, hello. I see you left your nest. Come here. Seriously? I threw it. Oh, she snuck in. Because you weren't paying attention. Oh, she took it back. Oh. The black one thought the other one would take it, but it's that one. I keep looking. I've only seen one, but my tomatoes went kind of crazy this year, so they're not uniform and they're all intertwined with each other, and I can't really go digging in there to see if I can find one that's hidden. I just sort of tracked where the damage was and I found one, but there could be a lot more. One year I came out and they had eaten, I don't know if it was tomatoes, I think it was my peppers, but they had eaten, or there were about 24. I don't know. I kept looking. And once I zeroed in on one of them, I was able to find like a whole lot more. I was like, oh my gosh, more. Oh, there's one. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, wow. But I'm not seeing that here. I found the one. I'm not seeing a ton extra, but it's amazing what, if it was only just the one, it is amazing the kind of damage that only one hornworm can do. But honestly, I can't see any others. And usually if you can find one, your eye sort of notices and can zero in on him. But I'm not seeing them. Anyway, today is going to be sort of a boring day. Boring for me anyway. We've got lots of laundry. I want to clean up the kitchen and the dining room because I just did a lot of cooking yesterday, so it's been messy, and I want to do some more cooking later in the week with the tomatoes, and maybe I might do a chicken or a rabbit. But I don't like cooking in a messy kitchen, and it's gotten crazy and really messy because we've just been so busy. So if I can, and I've been decluttering, so if I can clean off the kitchen and the dining room area, then I'll be in good shape and feel a lot better about cooking other things. The thing I want to do is exercise, because I didn't get to exercise yesterday because of the grocery run and just being exhausted. I had about a 5-hour nap. 5 hours last night of not uninterrupted sleep. He woke me up about an hour after I'd fallen asleep, but then after that hour, he went back to sleep and slept till 5, which was great. I hadn't had like a 5-hour full stint of sleep in a very long time. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling warm, although it's supposed to be, it's kind of cold outside, but for some reason I'm just really warm. Hot flash maybe, hormones, because you're breastfeeding and still getting your body back. I don't know. But I'm going to exercise. The baby's not been, he's okay right now, but he's been a little fussy. I might try to find a workout program that allows me to use the baby. I've seen those. These like, you know, exercise with your infant type things. So I might try that, or I might dance. I'm not sure. It's something to get me motivated to get up and moving, because right now I didn't want to. Okay, I just finished exercising, and it was great. He's a little fussy now because he needs solids. But during it, he was happy. He was laughing. He was having fun. Huh. Yeah, it was really nice. I was expecting him to just be screaming the whole time, but he actually was giggling as I was holding him and doing some of the moves. So that was great. And I need to feed him, but the living room was driving me crazy. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old and who don't put their things away, and it drives me nuts. My middle child is also, he's a deconstructive eater, is what we call him. He likes to take apart everything. So we end up having food pieces everywhere. And when the toys are everywhere and there's food pieces everywhere, because not only does it come from the table, but then he walks around and spreads it everywhere, it drives me a little nuts. So you might laugh at me, but this is how I usually clean up the living room. We have wooden floors. They might be fake wood, but like vinyl or whatever they call it. But it's really easy to sweep. So I usually just sweep everything into a pile. I have too much to do in the kitchen and the laundry and feeding the baby and all the things. I don't touch this pile. This pile is for my kids when they get home from school. They will be cleaning it up before they watch any TV. That is going to be their reward for cleaning up their messes. It actually looked way worse than it did when, like, that's not too bad. It's been way worse. That is really not that bad. And I decluttered a lot. So even when they go crazy, when you put it actually in a pile, you're like, oh my gosh, it's like a half of usually what it normally is. Because my son is also a dumper. So in order for him to find anything, he will dump everything on the floor and find the one toy. So getting rid of some of those toys so that when he dumps, there's not as much out has been really nice. And also separating certain things, like categorizing things in smaller groups than just animals, putting it in like dinosaurs, bugs, animals, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to leave that for them. So the house is still going to look a bit of a mess, but I can at least see my floor. I'm going to feed the baby, and then after that he's probably going to need a nap. And then I think I'm going to continue doing laundry and the dishes. I have a lot of folding to do. I'm on, I think, load 2, and it's already a giant pile. And I've got probably 3 or 4 more loads that need to go through quickly. The non-hang-up loads. I don't really deal with hang-up loads until the weekend. That's kind of my husband's job because he's the one who needs more of the hang-up stuff. I'm so short on time. I don't usually separate. I throw everything in a pile, and I will take things out that need to be hung as they go through. I don't separate into a hang-up pile and a non-hang-up pile and lights and darks and all that. I was like, I don't have time for that. I was like, if you want clean clothes, this is how I do it. If you want to go through and do it the perfect way, feel free to go ahead. But he hasn't been as consistent with the laundry because we haven't had time. Whenever it's spring and summer, he is out usually doing yard work whenever he has free time. So he doesn't have time to do laundry. And then he's been so tired at the end of the day between just being dad and working and supporting the family that it's just a lot. You know, he'll fold the laundry. He'll fold what I've washed every once in a while, but I was like, I can't keep up with everything, and so I have to make shortcuts where I can. So this is a shortcut, and throwing things into piles in just shoving whatever can be washed in the wash is a shortcut. And I told myself when my kids are out of the house and I have all the time in the world, I will do it correctly. But I don't. So this is how it's going to get done. And if anyone complains about it, it's like, well, if you are welcome to come to my house and do it the right way for free. But since I'm doing it for free and it's my house, I can do what I want. Yes. So, here we go. Are you ready? Are you hungry? Yeah? Hungry? I was going to try to make some baby food, but the baby's decided he can't wait. So, I've got some broccoli cooking. Once it's soft, I'll blend that. I will cut up the sweet potato into blocks, and then I will cook that probably when I'm making my own lunch. And for right now, I already have pre-made food that I make from home, mostly because it's just cheaper. and I'll go ahead and feed him because he can't wait any longer. I just put my kids down to bed. My husband is out at the gym. I cleaned the kitchen to prep for a major cooking day tomorrow. I'm hoping to do some roasted bell peppers and tomatoes to make the pizza sauce. I fed the sourdough that I hopefully will be able to make in the afternoon, and I will also be attempting to make yogurt in the afternoon. If I have extra time, I might try some mozzarella. When it comes to brand new cheeses, I tend to do this. I drag my feet because making cheese is hard. And every time we come to a new recipe, I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's like I get this uncomfortableness in my stomach and I just postpone, come up with a million reasons why not to do it. And then when I do it, the first time, I sort of get through the uncomfortableness of it, and then I feel better. And it is about the second to fourth time of me doing it where I actually get proficient at it. But it's that first trying something new that I have to just sort of push myself to get through. I thought I would prep tonight to give me the most success tomorrow, which is why I cleaned the kitchen and I cleaned off as much of the dining room table as I could. Tonight I am exhausted. I did a little bit of editing earlier right before I got my kids from school, but I am very tired now. I have some sorting to do, or that I can do, that doesn't take a lot of brain power. So I might try to do some of that. I've got some ripped books that one of my children destroyed that I could fix, which again doesn't take much energy. And then I might do some journaling. I have some pages of my journal I want to work on, but that takes a little bit more creative juices, and I don't know if I have the energy for that. So I might just try to fix the books. And then go through the bin of old memories that I am going to try to get rid of because I have new memories I want to put in there. So I think that's the plan. And then sleep and rest because, I don't know, I felt like I had a better night last night, but I am feeling worse tonight when it comes to energy levels. So we'll see. We'll see how much energy I have. What even is that? I'm trying to figure out what's reflecting. What's reflecting? Is that my camera? It's that light. Well, that's good to know. Good to know for next time. The baby woke me up at 4. He slept through the night. Yes, he did. Unfortunately, when he sleeps through the night, I get very full. And then when he eats in the morning, he overeats. And then his tummy gets all wobbly. And that's how I end up with a spit up all over me. We got down here around 5:15. Was dealing with some beeping in the house. It ended up being a fire detector that was out that we had to go find. Ended up being in the kids' room. Luckily, it didn't wake them up. But I didn't get down to do any writing till 5:20, and then the baby's been kind of fussy the whole time. So I did get almost a full page done. But between the fussiness, the crying, and the picking up and spitting up, I called it quits. I just couldn't do it. I was like, okay, the baby needs some attention. Yeah, I forgive you. I forgive you for waking me up and then spitting all over me and then not letting me write. Yeah. I have nothing really planned today other than a lot of cooking. And hopefully I can get all that done in the morning. So when he takes his afternoon nap, I can focus on finishing up that chapter. I'm finding that most of the chapters, when it's just dialogue, I can get through very quickly. What I struggle with is scene setup. Are you okay? You okay? A lot of times the intro into the chapters are what I am editing the most of. descriptions and setting the scene. I'm not great at that. Or I'm learning to get better. But dialogue is kind of my bread and butter. So I love dialogue. And I can do that really quick and easy. And then in editing, that's pretty easy too. Usually just adding some tags and some motion. Making people move. Someone said that sometimes my dialogue feels like talking heads because I don't add enough movement of the people. So that's a lot of what I need to add. But yeah, that doesn't take very much time and effort. It's really the descriptions and stuff that I struggle with. Especially trying to be in the voice of the person who you're writing about. Kids have been dropped off. This little guy took a nap before we left, and his siblings woke him up by screaming. So he is awake now and come around with me to do chores. I heard the weirdest little howl. Sounded like maybe one of the chickens or the ducks, maybe? I don't know. It was a weird sound. It could just be a random bird. But we had one of the hens nesting over eggs, and now she's not. I think I either scared her off of it, or she wasn't really nesting and she was just sitting there laying. Didn't know what else to do. Hey, Thistle. Hi, Muffin. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but that's Muffin. There's Thistle. Are you hungry? You guys don't usually come out. Yeah, I know you're hungry. Hi. We're not going to do any training today because I got the baby. I know, I'm feeding you. Chores were pretty easy today. Everybody had water, so I didn't need to go give anybody anything. Some of the animals still had food. So it went really fast today, which is nice because the baby's awake and he's only going to last a little bit longer. Because he's doing okay, I'm going to go to the front yard and water. But I wanted to say hello to our friend here. He redid his, or maybe she redid her web. And you can see it a little bit better. But as you can see, the little zigzag pattern I said, it got destroyed. Isn't that amazing? I'm not sure what makes them want to do that kind of pattern, but it is so pretty. It's amazing. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to get her to practice on the stand. I have one that's in the milking room, but I have an extra one here. I might pull it out into the grass after I harness her. And I also will pull the ramp. This one I don't have 2 ramps, but I'll pull the ramp that I have. And I'll practice getting her up on the stand to feed her. Mostly because she still needs food. Where is she? She still needs grain, but he doesn't. And I can't seem to just throw food in there and let her eat without him pushing her out of the way. So on days where I don't necessarily want to do any training, but I still want to get her some food, some extra food to kind of put some weight on her so she's ready for breeding season, I think I will pull her and try to train her on the stand so she can go in there and eat while I am going around doing some chores, feeding the cat or the dog or the duck or whatever, just so that she gets that little extra grain that I want her to have, so she gets a little bit more of that muscle. One of the things that they teach you about ewe lambs in their first year, if you want to breed them within a year, then you need to feed them like you're feeding 2 animals, because not only is the ewe lamb still growing, but she will get pregnant and also be growing her own lamb in her belly. So they're just like, make sure that whatever nutrition and stuff you give her is enough to feed both her and the baby that's going to be growing. So I just finished exercising. I don't know how successful it was, but I did it. The baby leaked out of his diaper about 7 minutes in, just past the warm-up. So I had to take a mini break to change him and clean up the mess. Then went back into it, and about halfway through, he just was unhappy and struggling. So it wasn't super calming because you know, I was just trying to get through it so that I could get to him and get him to be more okay. He's struggling a little bit this morning. He wasn't when he first woke up. Well, he was throwing up, he was spitting up a lot, but that's just because he had overeaten, because he'd slept through the night. But other than that, he was, attitude-wise, he was doing okay. We dropped the kids off, the older kids. He did chores with me. He had a really good attitude. He even took a little nap. But he's struggling right now. He had just pooped, so I thought maybe he was going to be a little bit better, but he's still struggling a little bit. Right now he's distracted with the phone and me talking. But he's been wiggly and fussy, on and off for the last hour and a half, I'd say. So I don't know how well his naps are going to go for later. I might try to feed him early. I usually feed him around 10:30. I might try 10:15, because I've been having to wake him up to go get my middle child from school, and I think he might just need more sleep. So I think I might try to put him to bed earlier and see how he does. That would give me a little bit more quiet time. But then again, if his mouth is really not doing well today, then he might not sleep great anyway, and may need a lot more little naps than one great big one. We'll see. My plan was to do some cooking and then do some editing of my novel. I got a little bit done this morning, but I wanted to get more done. But if he's not doing well, I may not have a lot of time to do much. I might have to push I was going to try mozzarella today. I'm going to push that back because he's going to need attention, I think. And unfortunately, when it comes to cheese, you just need to be really present. And maybe I can push it back to the weekend to where my husband is here. And maybe I'll video some of it. I just may not talk through it. But I do need to get the bell peppers and the tomatoes at least started. So I'm going to try. I have some fresh ones that we picked earlier this week. I'm going to try to prep them, and then really all that's needed is to roast them, pull off the skins, and then I may not even do the sauce part of it. I might just, or not all today. I might do some of it tomorrow. I don't know. He's kind of thrown me a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how today's going to go. I had a plan in my head, and so far it's gone somewhat to plan. I've done the exercising, the things I wanted to do in the morning. From here on out, I'm not sure what today's going to look like. He is very wiggly and just in an off mood. So between growing, teething, and all the other things, it just might be a rough day today. And I might have to just adjust some of my expectations. Can we just appreciate for a minute the nice, clean kitchen before I absolutely destroy it with cooking? I was like, I want to praise myself for the effort I put into making it nice and clean for cooking, even if for some reason today I don't get to do the kind of cooking I was expecting to do. But I cleaned and I was ready, and I think every mom should get a little bit of a praise for at least trying. Yeah, we are in the eating for comfort and then eating too much and spitting up all over the place phase today. He just spit up 3 times all over the floor. I know, buddy, I know. Stop doing that. Don't lean back like that. And today is just not going to go the way I thought it was going to. And that's okay. That's okay. I just have to, like I said, adjust. I still want to get the tomatoes done, but I'm going to have to do that during his whenever he does take a nap. And then just not plan to do anything else other than the prep. And then maybe something small like tidying up. But yeah, we're not going to get everything Mommy wanted to get done today. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Let's go cuddle a little bit right now. And yeah, let's go cuddle and snuggle and watch something. Yeah, we'll have a cuddle day. Cuddle morning. I ran out of space on my phone, so I had to do a quick intermission. All right, so this is the yogurt starter, and I'll just put that in the fridge until I'm ready to make the next batch. And I would put this in better lighting, but whenever I have better lighting, the yogurt, because it's so white, gets washed out. So I'm going to just sort of do this sort of in the shadows. Hopefully the quality is not too bad. I probably make yogurt once a week, at least during summer. It's nice and cool. And again, if I have time. But lately, it's just a nice way to be able to save a little money, because I just get milk from the store. But also, it's just generally, I think, healthier. Less preservatives. And I do enjoy it. I enjoy making things from scratch. I never thought I would. I thought I'd hate cooking. But needs must, and then I find ways to make it enjoyable. And look at that. It's already filtering, so that's great. And I will grab a large mason jar and put the rest of this in there until this one's been filtered, and I will refill it with the stuff that I am not able to do it now because I don't have another filter container. And then on the other side, I have my sourdough. I'm going to just take a peek. It says we're about 3 minutes away from being at the top heat. Oh, that's so pretty. I think I'm going to leave it in till it's a little bit for the next few degrees, just because it's starting to brown, but not completely. And then I have my cheese that I'm making. I put it on really low heat, so it should not heat up that fast. I'm sort of waiting for the bread to be done so I can clean off the temperature, the thermometer, and then stick it in here so I can actually gauge the temperature correctly. But till then, I can kind of warm it up to room temperature or a little more. I'm currently feeding the baby his solids. He's doing really well with broccoli, which is a surprise to mommy. I was trying to think of what I wanted to do for my own lunch because I hadn't really planned anything. I didn't have anything prepped. And I realized I'm making the sourdough, so I think what I'm going to try to do, I have some leftover salmon and some leftover avocado. And so I think I might make some salmon avocado toast type thing. I don't know what other things people put on those, if it's just that, but I think that sounds really, really yummy to me. The avocado's a little browned, but I think it still should be okay. It's just been in the fridge and it was only in its half. It had been halved, so I'm sure it's just, while it may not look great, I'm sure it tastes fine. Yeah. And so yeah, that's the plan. Feed the baby his salads. Maybe I'll get that together while I finish up the mozzarella. Right now the sourdough is still almost done. It's got like a degree left. And then the yogurt has been put away. And the mozzarella is coming up to temp. So, until that happens, we're not going to do anything else. But hopefully it'll come up to temp. I can get the other thing that I need to prep going. And then I can get that mozzarella done. Let's hope it goes well. If it doesn't, Daddy said that there was store-bought mozzarella in the fridge. Yeah, so we'll grab that tomorrow if if mommy's doesn't work. So that's the plan. You ready? Isn't that beautiful? I made the cross a little too large and it kind of became into the heart, which is fine. Artistic license. Happy accidents. But it looks so good. So pretty. And then here's the mozzarella getting ready. We're about partway through. I don't know what I'm doing. This seems very, I don't know, I guess I thought it would be firmer, but it's very, very wet, and I know people don't like the word, but moist, I don't know. It's still draining, but I think I'm going to try to do the warm water bath, which is the next step. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's really great is I actually have, we bought this when we were processing chickens because you have to dunk them in boiling water. But I have used them for sourdough to pull the Dutch oven out. I love these. I love these way more than the other type of mitts like this. Yeah, love these. And I'm going to use them now to stretch the mozzarella. This is where I think something's wrong. It says cut or break the curds into 1 to 2 inch pieces and begin placing them in the hot water. Well, these, it looks like ricotta to me. I was like, they're not together. So I don't know what you mean by breaking them into pieces. I feel like it should be firmer, but it's very, very wet. We'll see what happens. Okay, I think I did it. The biggest problem I had was keeping the temperature up while I was stretching. They said to warm it in a pot and then put the warm water into a bowl. And I kept having to ladle ladle the hot water into the bowl to keep the temperature up. The temperature kept dropping to about 150 and you're supposed to have it about, I think it was 175. Even in the bowl, I was able to get it to maybe 165. I mean, it worked. But it's definitely the texture I want. It's definitely better than the last time I made mozzarella, which ended up being so rubbery and horrible that we couldn't even eat it. Sometimes I tell my husband, I was like, look, I'm just looking for edible here. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to be able to eat it. And I think that's what we have. I definitely think the next few rounds of making it will go a lot better, a lot smoother. But considering I tanked the first time, and this is actually cheese and it looks like the right texture, it says as long as it is a consolidated mass, stretches like taffy, and develops a sheen, you can put it into a ball, which is what I did. So I have no idea what it's going to taste like, but I did it. I did it. And I will use the leftover whey for the animals. I don't give it all to them at once. I'll put them in some mason jars and then slowly give it to them as the days go on. And they will be very, very happy with their little treat. All right, I'm going to give it a little taste. Because I put it in a little ball, but I didn't actually taste it. So I'm just going to pinch. Oh. You didn't see that. I'll spin you around to show you. Kind of bland. I would have probably put more cheese, more salt in it, to be honest, but I have had a habit of over-salting things to the point where they're inedible. My husband's always like, err on the side of less salt, but I feel like this could have used more salt. Next time I will know. I put as much as they suggested, but I'm not really tasting much flavor. It's kind of bland, but I don't know, maybe that's okay for pizza cheese, which is what I'm making it for. So I'm going to see if I can get you in a better light. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Okay. So watch this, guys. So I went over here and I pinched. It's like string cheese. I was like, oh, are you kidding? Are you serious? It was amazing. I was like, that's what it's supposed to be. Yay! I just read the instructions for chilling, which I'm not using it till tomorrow. And it said to make a brine with 2 to 3 tablespoons of salt plus 2 to 3 tablespoons of clear whey and a quart of very cold water. I'm hoping maybe that salt brine will maybe give it a little bit more flavor than it has now. Maybe if you're doing it straight from the day you make it, adding more salt is better. But I'm hoping maybe the brine will help salt the cheese a little bit. Now this is about a quart. I was thinking about doing a bowl, but this is just the easiest thing I can do. It's what I have. And I have leftover whey from making the cheese. I didn't dump it yet. So we're just going to fill this up. Probably not too much because once the cheese is in there, it's going to displace some of that water. And then I've got a little tablespoon. Oh, I also didn't realize that the whey is going to create... I've done a lot of cooking, can you tell? The whey is going to displace some of that water too, so... 1, 2, 3. Now I made that wet, so now I gotta get another tablespoon. And then I can always add more water if the cheese... It said very cold water? Yeah, I don't know if it's very cold, but I'll put it in the fridge. How many tablespoons of salt? 2 to 3. Okay. 1, 2. Just eyeballing it. 3. All right. Now let's see if you, sir, will fit. I said to keep it in a ball, but I need to kind of shove you in here. So. Okay. To make you thinner because you're stopping up the... Oh, that's too much water. So maybe I should pour you into here. Yeah. Ooh, lots of salt. Okay. That's okay. I needed to add some extra water anyway. Did I get all the salt? Nope. All right, just a little bit more. There we go. And we'll stick you in the fridge for later. Do I have a spot? I will. We're gonna move you over here. Put all of the dairy items together. And that will hopefully cool it down. Oh, I'm so excited. I was like, I'm gonna fail this. It's gonna be horrible. And I did it. Check. Check off the cheese list. Mozzarella. Yay! Alright, now I'm going to work on making my lunch because I am starving. And it's about noon, so I have about an hour. And I think because that was so hard between the yogurt, the sourdough, and the cheese making, I am just going to eat and relax for the next hour. My husband is planning to go to the gym later, so I can maybe do some editing, either video editing or novel editing later. But right now, I need to rest. My back's bugging me. But I did it. I did it. Alright, I just cut into this. It's really, really nice. I think this might be the best one I've made, and it's probably because I used a proving drawer, even though I don't have a proving drawer. I used the oven. But I mean, it didn't pop up high as much, but it's soft. I mean, cutting it didn't create crumbs everywhere. It's still good. The other one's hard and a little bit more compact, and this one's soft and fluffy. It's, preferences. But that looks great. I just noticed this might be, let's see. Can I touch you without burning myself? Oh, look at that. Yep. All right, so using this method, instead of the mealworm. And between the whey and the oats, the chickens are going to be very, very happy. There we go. It ain't Pinterest worthy, but it's edible, and I don't like wasting food. And so this is me not wasting any food and using my fresh bread. So very happy, very happy. I'm going to say goodbye for today, because after this it'll be getting the kids. But tomorrow maybe I'll have you come along with me and I'll feed the whey and the oats to the chickens. Or the kids and I will do it later. We'll see. Good morning. It is Friday, the end of the week. I was planning to pull my milking stand in there and do some milk stand training, but then this little guy didn't fall asleep like I was expecting to. So I'm gonna have to put that off for another day. Maybe I'll ask my husband to move it in. I was gonna try to get the sheep to come out into this open field and kind of train her there, like halter train her and bring her out. But I think the better option would be to put the stand actually in the pasture she's already in, train her to the stand, train her to, you know, being harnessed, and then pulling her up onto the stand, and then training her to be pulled into the milking room. I just think we need to do everything in stages. And I have 2 milking stands, so I have one that's just kind of out, not doing anything right now. So I think putting it in there and having her be more comfortable with just the concept of it is a really good idea. Then I'm going to just really quickly do the rest of the chores. I made quite a mess the other day with all the cooking, so I have to go do dishes. Then I was planning to make some pizza dough so that we can use the pizza sauce I made earlier in the week and the mozzarella I made yesterday and do homemade pizza. I have some salami from the store that I figured we could use as pepperoni. I also want to exercise and then just do some rest. I'm getting tired. The baby had a 5-hour stint one of the nights, and my body was like, yes, more of that, please. And then last night he woke up 3 or 4 times. The night before that was 2 or 3, maybe 4. I don't know. I lose track after a while. And so my body's feeling it today. I'm feeling tired. And I was having a hard time getting up, moving. I did edit a little bit this morning. I was so close. I was maybe 3/4 of a page away from finishing the 27th chapter. But my middle child woke up 10 minutes early. And to keep them from annoying their older sibling, I was like, it's fine, come on down, but just be quiet. But they struggle with that concept. And so I didn't get as much done as I was hoping to this morning. I had about 20 minutes, but it got cut down to about 10-15 with someone talking to me the last little bit. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish this. So I would like to finish that and maybe get some video editing done. I want to release a video on Monday, this following Monday. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll see how much I have time for today. Oh, I also decided I want to try to make some hot dog buns, because I bought hot dogs at the store and I didn't buy buns because I was like, I can make buns, it's fine. And so I'm like, okay, but now I'm not making hot dogs because I haven't made the buns yet. So once I make the buns and I have them on the back burner, I was like, okay, that might be a real easy, quick meal to do over the weekend for the family. And I'm already making some sort of dough with the pizza dough. And I like to batch make items. Yesterday, I didn't do anything that was the same. It was yogurt, sourdough, and cheese. Nothing was the same. And my brain, it has a harder time jumping around. Whereas if I'm like, okay, I'm just doing breads. So I'm doing hot dog buns and then pizza dough. And those are relatively the same thing with some similar ingredients. So those are a lot easier for my brain to handle at the same time. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. This little guy has been struggling a little bit, but he's doing okay right now. He'll probably take a nap when we go in, hopefully, and I can get some exercising done, maybe a shower. Then maybe collect ingredients. I don't want to get into too much, but I'll see what I can do while he takes his little nap, his little mid-morning nap. One of these days, I need to groom you again, because you are getting so dirty. but it's starting to rain. So I give you a bath and I clean you and you're just gonna look the same thing the next day. Huh, you good girl. Oh, you saying hi to the baby? Say hi, baby. I wasn't going to hop back on here, but I wanted to celebrate a win for me. And this is the 4th day in a row that I exercised. I was really sore from Tuesday's weights, just carrying the baby and doing the baby exercises. And then I was also sore back and abs from running yesterday. And I was like, I'm gonna do something calm and maybe just do some stretches. And then I found a video and I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. And so I ended up dancing and I feel great. My goal for next week is to try to go Monday through Friday, like exercise Monday through Friday. Because that's the goal for me, is that I exercise Monday through Friday while the kids are in school and while the baby is sleeping. So I was close to the goal. Monday I ended up having to do the grocery run, so that pushed things off a bit and I was exhausted. That weekend and the week before was just draining. But I did it today. I went Tuesday through Friday, which, considering I hadn't been exercising at all over summer, is huge. And I want to celebrate the little wins, medium-sized wins. I don't feel like this is little, but I don't feel like it's huge. So we'll say medium-sized wins. I'm going to go get cleaned. And if the baby is still sleeping, I'm going to try to finish up that chapter. If not, he's going to come down and I'll just spend some time with the baby, maybe watch something with him and just relax. I feel like I've earned it. I do need to do some dishes and start the pizza dough, but I might start that at lunch. I'm going to do, before I go in the shower, maybe I'll look up real quick how long it takes to actually make the dough, the pizza dough, like how long it has to rest. Because if it's a very long time, I might have to start that instead of writing. But I don't think so. I think if I was able to do it around noon, it will still be okay for dinner. But I'll double check that. And then get back to you. Some of my food is ready, and I have the pizza dough ready, and I am midway through getting the hot dog buns ready. So I did manage to get all that done. Right now I'm eating some fries that are from potatoes we got from our garden, and then I'm going to have some brown rice and quinoa pasta with some meatballs and some Parmesan cheese. And tonight we'll do the pizza. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you here because my phone's about to die. But if you liked hanging out with me, please give this video a thumbs up, comment below on anything you would like to see from me, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell if you'll want to come along with me next time. Alright, have a blessed week. Bye.